wanted to bring up this chart, and the Democrats, the other side always likes to use this chart, but what I think's interesting, obviously we did spend too much money during the last president, both terms, but what I think it's interesting where it started. I remember a few weeks ago when Secretary Geithner was testifying, our side put up a chart, and Mr. Geithner got a laugh when he said, he didn't go back far enough. He didn't go back and show the surpluses from the Clinton years. What I think is interesting is we stop at 2009. If I could direct everyone's attention to the lower right-hand corner, where it's amazing on this graph. It even comes off the graph, off the chart, that red line. That's what we want to focus on, where that red line is headed after 2009, because it is unprecedented what we're doing with spending, and frankly, what it means to future generations of Americans. Last Friday, Mr. Chairman, Emily and Andrew Beck from Cary, Ohio, in our district, gave birth to their first son, Olin. 9 pounds, 3 ounces, 19.5 inches long, named after his grandfather. Little does this young man know, but he is already $30,000 in debt. And if this budget passes, the majority's budget, Obama's budget, if it passes, that debt will go up to $70,000 for this young man, this baby, before he's even able to write his name. Olin's not a free spender. He's barely a week old. He just happens to be born at a time when his United States Congress, his government, is spending at a rate that won't even be on the chart up here that you guys have put up. This budget spends $10 billion a day, every day for a year, moving the budget to the unprecedented level, as Mr. Campbell just pointed out, of 25% of GDP. It projects trillion-dollar deficits as far as the eye can see, landing somewhere around, now think about this, 125% of GDP in just a few years. And this comes on top of the bailouts, on top of the omnibus spending bill, on top of the so-called stimulus bill that promises to spend $262,000 per job created, showering our tax dollars on such things as a $300 million worth of golf carts for federal bureaucrats, $50 million for the National Endowment for the Arts, and millions of other dollars in taxpayer-funded bonuses for AIG executives, all kinds of ridiculous discretionary spending. Discretionary spending. Mr. Chairman, this administration has suggested that America's economic crisis should not be overlooked as some opportunity for the majority to spend. We disagree. We believe this is a moral issue about baby Olin's future and about the future of our country. For generations, moms and dads have sacrificed so their kids, this is what's great about this country. It's what makes us the greatest nation ever. Moms and dads making sacrifices so their kids can have life a little better than they did. That's the American dream. This budget moves in the wrong direction. With this budget, the majority and the administration are putting the future at risk. They're forcing Olin and his generation into an almost insurmountable debt spiral, requiring them, now think about this, to get in balance, when you look at where this budget takes us, to finally get in balance, we have to eventually run trillion-dollar budget surpluses for 23 straight years just to get back to balance. That isn't, of course, unless another, quote, crisis comes along and gives the majority an opportunity to spend even more. When will this madness stop? When will we turn this ship around? And most importantly, when will the American people say enough is enough? And I think, Mr. Chairman, it's interesting that you're starting to see the American people say just that. The tea parties that are taking place across this, 5,000 people in Cincinnati, Ohio, 2 weeks ago, the first nice summer Sunday afternoon in our state, and 5,000 people showed up to say, we are sick of this kind of spending. For the sake of every American taxpayer, Mr. Chairman, both current and future, to whom Congress will send the bill for this incredible spending, I implore our colleagues to show some restraint, show some common sense, and not pass this Obama budget, which taxes too much, borrows too much, and most certainly spends too much. I thank the gentleman for yielding.
Mr. Chairman, I yield.